All
All
right.
over.
All right. Okay. So I didn't expect you. I was like,
Fine.
I'll
I know.
do the roll. Okay, it's fine. I was
After
like,
reading all this, I thought I better read it.
okay.
Yeah, we'll do it, Bob.
I hereby open the Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. On behalf of Mayor Jack Guilfoyle, who will be absent tonight. Roll call.
Scott Miller,
Here.
Robert Alexander.
Here. Next on the agenda is minutes of the past meeting. Just waiting on Patty to get the minutes since she recorded the minutes of the last meeting. Thank you.
And this is the sign-in sheet from the last.
Yeah, Board of Works. This is all council. Yeah, this is probably all you guys' copies for your.
Maybe you guys right here.
Looks like it's here.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from the previous meeting.
I'll second it. I have a first and second. Roll call vote.
Scott Miller,
Yes.
Robert Alexander.
Yes. Okay, now, any citizen, this is comments from the citizens, anybody, got anything to say, or make, I mean, as I was. Anybody that's got a comment, please just stand up and state your name, and, you have about 2 minutes for comment. Okay, no comments, we'll move on. Scott, you have any comments?
I don't have anything to really add, other than I think we have, our city cleanup's coming up in May, right, Cindy?
Yeah, right, yeah.
Okay, so I just wanna let everybody know that's here, and if you have anybody that you need to inform, we're gonna have a cleanup May 10th. That'll give you time to start looking at what you wanna get rid of.
I just want to compliment all of our emergency services during the recent storms that we had and a little bit of a heavy rainfall that went through. Everything kind of went smooth, and appreciate all of the department heads working together to make sure everything was taken care of. Claims, we have no claims in financial reports for tonight's meeting. Moving on. Old business, there's no old business. New business, since the clerk treasurer is here, do you have the bids for the fire truck? Okay, no bids for the surplus of the fire truck. Moving on to pay app number 1 CSO project.
I'm guessing it's the one from Graves.
Yeah,
right?
this, yes.
Okay, so we got a invoice from Graves Construction Service. This will be pay app number 1 for our current CSO project. Total amount of $269,000, or $269,184.68. I'm gonna, so we have an on-site inspector, so I'm assuming everything is been looked over by them and they're comfortable with it, so I'll make a motion to accept the pay app from Graves Construction.
Yeah, I'll second that since the engineer has signed off on it. Got a first and second, roll call vote, please.
Scott Miller,
Yes.
Bob Alexander.
Yes. Make sure we have a signature for the clerk treasurer. So. Okay. Fill that, just sign there.
Okay.
Moving on, we got the HWC, the engineering bill here for professional services from February 24th, 2025 to March 30th, 2025, in a total amount. This is for survey, permitting, bidding docs, easement, land acquisition, bidding, construction engineering, and the observation, and the lodging. So it comes to a total invoice of $21,928.84. Need a motion to approve the engineering fees.
I'll make a motion to accept the engineering fees from HWC.
I'll second that, and I'll need a roll call vote.
Scott Miller,
Yes.
Bob Alexander.
Yes. Okay. There's a signature on here, so. Next in front of us, we have the operations agreement that the city has drafted up, and with the draft, we need to approve this operation agreement. This is for a period of 10 years from January 1st, 2025 to December 31st, 2035. The agreement shall automatically renew for successive 5-year terms unless one party gives the other party written notice of its intention not to renew at least 120 days before the end of the term. Got any questions on this contract agreement?
I don't.
It's actually an operations agreement.
Right, yeah. I've gone through without any questions. Pretty much what we've been operating on before.
Yes, and I'll go ahead and read, in consideration of being allowed to manage and operate the golf course, the association agrees to pay to the city $101,500 in 2025. Said sum shall be paid in full on before December 31st, 2025. The timing and amount of payments will be flexible, but payment will be made at least once every 2 months starting in April, in amount of at least $10,000.
And then they'll reevaluate the amount.
Right. Annual reevaluate, yes. Any questions?
I don't have any questions, no.
Need a motion to accept the operations agreement?
I'll make a motion to accept the operations agreement for Matthew Park Golf Course.
And I'll second it. And
Scott.
Roll call vote?
Scott Miller,
Yes.
Robert Alexander,
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, just let him sign it.
Bart, we'll have, I'll make sure all 3 copies are made of these and put
okay, yeah, thank you.
into your thing. Okay. Next is a, resolution. It's Resolution 2025-2, Board of Public Works and Safety of the City of Clinton, Indiana, assigning human resources responsibilities. Whereas the appointment of a new clerk treasurer has led to reassignment of certain administrative and clerical responsibilities among city employees. Whereas pursuant to Clinton Municipal Code 30-30.016, the Board of Public Works and Safety serves as the chief administrative body of the city with control over the day-to-day operations of executive departments. Whereas the Board of Public Works and Safety desires to affirm the city employee who is responsible for human resource matters such as maintaining personal records of employees, ensuring compliance with labor laws, handling enrollment of employees in PERF, health insurance, etc., and other human resources matters. Be it therefore resolved as follows: the mayor's administrative assistant, Patty Karanovich, shall continue to fulfill the duties and responsibility related to human resources with respect to the city employees. Passed in an open meeting this 15th day of April 2025. Before ask for a motion on this, just want to let everybody know why we want to continue this. Responsibilities under Patty's is because of Cindy, Billy, or Scott, or Chris at 2 o'clock in the morning. There's an accident, and it involves obviously workman's comp. She knows exactly how to go to the hospital, get what she needs, get it filed, and so this time, that's very important, especially if it's an accident and you have OSHA comes in case some of you ever been under the microscope of OSHA. I have been several times, and it's really good to have the human resources ready to go on that, because then it leads to fines if there's a situation that was not adhered to that was under the control of OSHA. And then, of course, police and fire fall under different regulations. So that's why this was drafted up. Need a motion?
I'd like to say something.
Yes.
Before you sign this is in violation of state law. I have talked to Scott. I am willing to relinquish some of these controls. This was a letter that was sent to Scott on the 6th. The stable part there. And you'll see personnel matters and payroll are under my jurisdiction. Again, I did say I would be willing to work with them on this, but I do need to have communication between the person that maintains these records, because those are my responsibility. So I am still willing to work with whoever, Scott.
Is that the thing from the town of Argo?
Yes, it is. No, it's actually from the Association of Clerks and Treasurers.
I don't agree with what it says.
How about the 2 laws?
What laws? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. I saw something from the town of Argos, but I didn't.
Yeah, that was a sample from Town of Argos, and it also says that,
Yeah, your employees. Yes.
And is she?
They
paid-
serve at your pleasure, absolutely. There's no question of that.
Is she paid out of the water department?
Pardon me?
Is she paid out of the water department?
Who?
Patty?
Yeah.
So she
But
doesn't fall
she doesn't
under.
work for you, yeah. So, yeah, your employees serve at your pleasure. That's not what that changes. They still serve at your pleasure.
Well, there's no communication. I mean, I'm more than willing to communicate with her. Like
Yeah,
I
you
said,
have to.
happy to, and I actually appreciate this.
But just HR stuff. Yeah, but they still serve at your pleasure. Yeah, so.
Yeah, as long as there's communication, I don't have any problem with this.
Okay, so, Scott, this is.
Yes.
It's good.
The
This-
resolution
this
is fine.
good.
Yeah, yeah, I checked it.
Resolution
I'm not concerned with that.
It's good.
It's just HR stuff.
All right,
It's just
gotcha.
human resources, maintaining, and then, of course, the overseer is always the clerk treasurer on the Indiana Code of Court Ordinances. So we're not overstepping you, we were just making, it's like making an appointment and to make it official to an employee. Now we have it signed that they're directed to cover this. Obviously, everybody knows it's,
And like I
if
said,
they read Indiana code. so
Scott and I talked
clerk
about this on
treasurer,
the-
third class city. I've already seen it and I've seen your email, and that's why we got it drafted up.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to accept the resolution 2025-2.
And I'll second it. Need roll call vote?
Scott Miller,
Yes.
Bob Alexander.
Yes. Sign that one. Okay, this one, I definitely don't handle because it's a testament. Okay, did you get your monthly and yearly report from the
Yes.
fire chief? Yep. We'll do the checks. You know, I've got labor force,
Yep.
wastewater superintendent,
So that one.
and monthly year report from code enforcement.
Yep.
Okay. That includes all the matters pertaining to the Board of Public Works and Safety.
All right. A motion adjourned.
I'll second.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. This concludes the Board of Public Works meeting, and then
I want to bring to order the city council meeting. It's April 15th at 7 o'clock. Again, the mayor's not here, so as president of the council, I'll be presiding tonight. So stand and say the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have roll call.
Excuse me. JT Walker.
Yes, here.
Oh, Jack's not here. Chuck or Joe?
Chuck, that's
Chuck Pokeroni.
Here.
Dean Strome.
Here.
Dot Lindsay.
Here.
And Bob Alexander.
Here.
All right, minutes of the past meeting. Are there any questions or anything about that?
A motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Got a motion to accept the minutes. Is there a second?
I'll second
Roll call vote?
JT Walker.
Yes.
Chuck Pokeroni.
Yes.
Dean Strome.
Yes.
Dot Lindsay.
Yes.
And Bob Alexander.
it. Yes.
Okay. And then like Bob said at the Board of Works meeting, we're going to have citizens' comments. You have 2 minutes, just stand and state your name and then tell us whatever your comment is. So,
I'm gonna take advantage of that 2 minutes to talk about something that's not on your agenda that just came up recently. We talked, I think I mentioned something last month about the Plan Commission and the new zoning ordinance. I got an email Friday morning. I assume the Plan Commission met Thursday
Yes.
and voted to approve the new, they call it the UDO, Uniform Development Ordinance, because it would be the same for the county as it is for the city. There was some language in there about carbon sequestration that was causing some issues, and so they recommended striking that from the ordinance. And I think that was the only thing holding us up. So, by statute, we have to vote on that ordinance within 90 days of its approval by the Plan Commission, its recommendation by the Plan Commission. We also have to advertise our meeting where we're gonna vote on that, I don't know, 10 days or something before the meeting where you're gonna vote on it. So I wanted to ask you 2 things this evening. One, do you wanna do that at the May meeting or do you wanna do that at the June meeting? And then along with that would be, this thing's 284 pages, so it's not light reading. Many of you have been in some of the meetings we've had over it. I know not everyone has. The county has done a lot with this. The Plan Commission's done a lot of advertising with it and had a lot of public input and stuff like that. I'm happy to send you electronic copies of it. That's very easy. I can also have some printed, but I don't want to print out 15 of these things and then you guys don't want them. So if you'd let me know what your preference is for the ordinance, how I can get it to you, because I got the final draft along with the new zoning map. And then do you want to do this in May or do you want to do it in June? I don't care.
what do you guys
Just-
think?
I thought we might have it already when we sent it favorably to the commissioners last month. I thought before we did that, we had to go around and get the approval from the council, but maybe this is coming back because now the commissioners sent it back to us to remove, we remove, and then it passes the way I understood it.
We still have to pass it in the city because we have to repeal our old one and
Okay.
adopt the new one. And there's some statutory, I read all this the other night, I don't know why.
Okay, that's fine. I was,
So, no, it's confusing because the county has been so focused on getting the county to approve it that they sometimes have forgotten that we also need to do that too, guys. So we, now with this new recommendation from the Plan Commission as of last week, which accepted the changes proposed by the council, we now have to, or the county commissioners, we still have to vote on it, and we have 90 days to do that. Technically, if you don't vote on it, it just becomes, it's weird, I didn't believe it until I read it, it becomes the new city ordinance, even if you don't vote on it. But I would think you would want to go ahead and vote on it.
Yeah, because the sooner the better, because this thing has been going on for several years, back to, I want to say 2022. And so we've had city representatives involved into the UDO, which the responsibility, I think, as the council members to be also honed in on this because it affects Unified. So hopefully everybody's been kind of following that along. Eric does a really good job of advertising this stuff. But if not, I still think you have time because that's our ordinance. It comes our new ordinance because I'd like to vote on it because then it could affect anything that comes down the road.
Yeah, we didn't have time to do it for tonight.
Yeah, but I like to do it the next meeting. You all
Good, man.
May 20th. May.
That'd be all right, yeah.
You have a question about it?
Yes. Run that by me again. We had the statement in, but we voted to remove it.
We did. There was language in there in its original incarnation
Right,
that had to do with prohibiting carbon sequestration from happening in the county.
like a ban. Okay.
And that became a source of potential litigation. So it doesn't affect us particularly, obviously, because it's not in the city where this is happening, so we don't really, it doesn't affect us, but it was an issue for the county. So the county commissioners said that they decided to they asked to have that language stricken. The Plan Commission has stricken that language. So that means that the ordinance has now been approved at the county level, but we have not approved it at all.
Okay, so we never stricken anything?
No.
Okay, if we choose not to stricken it, what does that have? What then?
Well, it's not in there now. It's not there.
Okay,
So you don't have to choose not to, it's just not there.
okay, we cannot put it in.
Well, you can amend, if you want to amend it, then we would have, first of all, you don't want to do that, I don't think, because we're going to get dragged into litigation over something that doesn't involve us. And I don't think we should, I think we'd lose that litigation. But first and foremost, then we'd have a different ordinance than the county does.
And we have to go with what the county.
We don't have to, but the idea was we'd have the same ordinance.
Okay, well, I just want to know what our options are.
But if we put that in there, it would only apply in the city. So it would have no effect on the Wabash
happening?
Resources thing,
Okay.
because unless they plan on doing it in the city, which they don't. So nobody would. So it wouldn't impact it. What we're doing has no impact. If we approve it with or without that language, it wouldn't make any difference to the project out there, because all we can zone is within the city. Our rules would only apply in the city.
So if we choose to ban, and it doesn't really affect the city, doesn't hurt us at all to have the ban.
Well, I suppose not, but then we'd have a different ordinance in the county, and I don't know that we want to have a different ordinance in the county.
Why not?
Because the idea is that we would have the same ordinance, so it doesn't matter where you're building in the county, you would have the same rules apply to you.
Unifying all your zoning laws, which should particularly be the same. Zoning should be almost identical in the county. It should be no different. Our zoning law books are going way back. This, like I said, started 2 years ago. This has been a lot of plan. And I'm a person that says if you're not with it, then it's not my fault. As a resident, I wasn't even on the area plan. I was following this really closely on the unified ordinance. And it made really sense to combine it. And Eric can tell you this thing's been going on for a long time. There was meetings after meetings with representatives from the city going through this 284, it started at 400. And then when I got on board, it was 380 something at the area plan. And for a year, it's just been going down. Well, we thought we had it. We had what everybody wanted. And we go in, and now the commissioners were made aware that this could really cost you a substantial litigation and probably not win, and maybe subject to other things. So they struck it out, sent it back for our approval, which we have to go yea or nay. We approved it because then we took a different step.
Yeah, the ordinance does have rules about this
Yes.
that would apply in the city because we're adopting them. But it doesn't have the stuff in there that would stop Wabash Valley.
Well, I don't think Clinton is that far from Universal, and through some of these stuff and some of the things I'm hearing, is that the pipeline may not work, but they're gonna transport it, and I know, but we're on the fringe, you know, we're neighbors, if you will. And, where I'm familiar with, 3 Mile Island, and, you know, I know things were different back then than where they are now, but things happen, and I was just wondering.
Well, all I can say is you pointed me to the area plan, and I speak for the residents, and the residents say no to the carbon, and we are still on that track. But for this time, we have to strike that, and we're taking a whole different approach by attorneys that are very qualified in this. That's all. I can't speak any further except for, yes, we are still in it to take this, what we can do at our means, at the county, along with the whole county together. The city, I'm just gonna say, you're the attorney, city versus the county, I'd rather have the county taking it on.
We don't have an egg in the basket.
No.
And I understand what you're saying. Yes, we should be concerned, and you may be concerned, but the zoning ordinance really has nothing to do with where the trucks are driving or anything
Well-
like that. So, you know, we don't need to prohibit it in the city because it's not an issue for the city. And that language is, the lawyers have advised us, and I agree with them, it's a problem. Because you can't just say no. You can't have it. You have to, you can not like stuff and you can restrict it, but you can't say no. So, which is what the
So
ordinance.
do we restrict?
It already does.
Can I put it on this tab? If you go back and read the Indiana code, it is state law that they can.
They can do it.
Well, yes,
Go with this, and you can't fight the state law because they all voted on it and said yes. So now that they said yes, they can proceed with the pilot program, but we're doing a moratorium to go set some standards. That's where we're at. That's where we've been
And the
advised.
standards are in this county thing, yes?
No.
No, they are going to be added.
As an amendment,
Mhm.
send me the link
I don't have it.
when you get it.
I don't know if it's been drafted yet. It's been drafted yet.
No.
Okay.
It's we haven't got it.
Yeah, I don't think it's been drafted yet. So.
Okay.
But
And
that's how it was
will be
presented.
ready. It will be ready in full document form when we have our meeting, right?
No.
So should we postpone it to June till we
Yeah.
have the full?
Well, you
meeting?
can't. I don't know that it'll be ready in June.
Well, we're gonna approve something that's not complete.
It's complete. It's what we
I'm
need.
a show me kind of gal.
For
I'm
all-
like from St. Louis, Missouri.
You don't think there was about 60 people at the meeting Thursday night, Doc, that wanted to say, show me, and we did. And what we showed them was, here's the state law. You cannot go and try to enforce more stringent laws on the state when they approved the pilot program. They actually proved it. You can't fight it. Our fighting was when they started to go into looking at this bill and
Right.
looking at the Indiana code. That's when we should have been there. And there was people there. There's a huge organization. They're not just this county. There's over by Mahomet and Champaign area. There's a lot of things going on. But as far as state of Indiana, our senators and them have already voted for the pilot program for the Wabash Valley. So they voted on it. We We can't go back and say, no, we're nobody. That's like, no, we're not gonna do this, even though it's a state law. State law gave them that permission. And so now we're taking other courses because we do not want it here. So we have not succeeded to just give our hands and say, okay, it's done. We're not done by far on these.
You know that saying, if it's not in writing, it didn't happen, so I wanted to see what the standards are.
Well, go to the